Hello, my dear students. Very good morning to everybody. Let's continue the new chapter called Magnetism and Matter. Right? It is a very small chapter. Let's start. Magnetism. What is meant by the magnetism? It's a property of attracting or repelling other magnets or magnetic substances. So this is the magnetism. We are not going into the deep levels of what is magnetism and what are the types of the magnet. See, there is a concept here, the types of the magnet. Natural magnet, artificial magnet, and that and all we are not discussing. Because the chapter will start from it. But it's not at all required right now. Right now, what is required is the bar magnet. We all know about a bar magnet. There are so many things related to the bar magnet in this chapter. So many things related to the bar magnet. Let's begin. Number one, let me draw a bar magnet of this shape like this. There is a south pole here and the north pole is here. Right? South pole will have a pole strength minus small m. North pole will have a pole strength plus m, like minus q and plus q. Pole strength. The ability of this pole in attracting or repelling another magnet or magnetic substances, that's called pole strength. And this is also the same. There is an ability for this pole in attracting or repelling the magnet or magnetic substance. So this is the pole strength and this is the pole strength. And I'm writing here SI, a unit of small m, which is a pole strength. SI unit of small m, which is a pole strength. You know what is that? It's a ampere meter. What is that? Ampere meter. Now, about pole strength, it's finished. Listen, this is called the geometric length of the magnet from one end to the other end. That's called geometric length. And there is a magnetic length also. So the magnetic length will be from here to here. Listen, this is the magnetic length only from here to here. Some point here, some point here. Because the midpoint of the poles we have to take. Imagine this is the pole. It's a midpoint we need to take and this is the magnetic length. You know, there is a relation between magnetic length and the geometric length. So this magnetic length is equal to 5 by 6 times of geometric length, and sometimes in the NEET exam, sometimes in KCET exam, this question was asked. The relation between magnetic length and geometric length of a bar magnet and about the pole strength. Pole strength is a scalar quantity, like a charge. It is a scalar quantity. Okay. And one more important thing I'll tell you. Listen. So we have, carefully see, my dear students. So there is a charge Q1. There is another charge Q2. They are separated by a distance R. There is a Coulomb's force of attraction K Q1 Q2 by R square. In the same way, when there are two poles, this is M1 and this is M2. They are of the similar poles or opposite in nature, whatever it may be. If they are separated by a distance D, and this is F is equal to a mu naught by 4 pi into M1 M2 by D square. This is the Coulomb's law in magnetism. What is this called? Coulomb's law in magnetism. Students, tell me, what is this called? Coulomb's law in magnetism. Coulomb's law in magnetism. In the same way, there is a Gauss law in magnetism also. What is the Gauss law in magnetism? Here itself let us discuss. Generally, Gauss law in electrostatics, E bar dot ds bar is equal to charge enclosed divided by epsilon naught. In the same way, there is closed integral b bar dot ds bar is equal to, this is the net pole strength enclosed divided by epsilon naught. Here epsilon naught, sorry, here it is mu naught, and this all together will be 0. Gauss law in magnetism. The final value of is what? Final value is what? So this is 0. Right? So magnetic flux linked with a dipole. The magnetic flux linked with a dipole is 0. Magnetic flux linked with a dipole is 0. So we have discussed about the Gauss law, and that is the reason Coulomb's law is discussing. As we have discussed the Coulomb's law here, so that is why I have told you the Gauss law in magnetism. This is part. Okay. Keep it aside, right? Anyway, we are doing a quick revision, the short term, right? Quick recap. Now, fine, this is about the pole strength is finished, and that is about the Gauss law in magnetism. Now, the most important part of this complete chapter is magnetic movement. The magnetic movement always moves from south pole to the north pole. Magnetic movement always moves from south pole to the north pole, my dear students. Okay, so this is the magnetic movement, and what exactly the magnetic movement I'll write here. So the magnetic movement, which is denoted with the symbol capital M bar, as its symbol indicates, it's a vector quantity, and this magnetic movement M bar is equal to pole strength into 2L bar. So this is the 2L bar. What is this 2L bar? So that is a magnetic length, my dear students. What is that 2L bar? Magnetic length. Understand? Clear? And what is SI unit here? So it is a vector. And what is the SI unit here? This is pole strength. Pole strength SI unit is ampere meter into meter. So that is ampere meter square is the SI unit of magnetic movement, and this is always directed from negative pole strength to the positive pole strength, south pole to the north pole, like electric dipole movement. Electric dipole movement always directed from negative charge to the positive charge. In the same way, electric dipole movement always flows from negative charge to the positive charge, same way negative pole strength to the positive pole strength. So this is about the magnetic movement. There are so many things involved in magnetic movement. So many things involved in the magnetic movement. Now let's see that. Let us see, my dear students. So this is the magnet. Carefully observe. South pole is here, north pole is here. Pole strength is minus M, pole strength is plus M. So this magnet movement is M into 2L. Magnitude I am taking, right? Magnitude. And this 2L bar is a vector quantity. That means the straight line between this north pole and the south pole is 2L. Remember, the magnetic length is nothing but the straight line distance between south and north pole. That is what this one, the straight line distance between these two. So when I cut this into the two pieces, my dear students, the upper piece and the bottom piece, I am just drawing like this separately. This is the upper piece and this is the bottom piece. So this is a minus M by 2 and this is plus M by 2 here also. This is minus M by 2, this is M by 2, because the pole is divided into two parts. The area of the pole at this point, it is dividing into two parts. Now, so the length is remaining same. Here the length is remaining same, 2L and 2L. And the new magnetic moment here. So M by 2 into 2L. I hope you understand. Magnetic moment is pole strength into 2L. Here the pole strength is M by 2. Okay. And here what can I write? Numerator is M into 2L. M into 2L is nothing but M. Right. So here M dash is equal to capital M by 2. That's finished. M dash is capital M by 2. Now, in this case also same thing. M dash is equal to M by 2 into 2L. M dash is equal to capital M by 2, students. I hope you got the point. Yes or no? Now, what you have understand? When you cut the magnet into two horizontal pieces, each magnet will have magnetic moment which is m by 2, which is m by 2. An interesting thing I'll show you. If you cut this into two these parts also, right, only length will change now. Magnetic moment, sorry, magnetic pole strength will remain same because we are not cutting here. This area remains same. Even in this case also, this half will have m by 2 and this half also will have m by 2. Interesting thing I'll tell you. Here why you have got m by 2, you know, this 2 stands for we have cut the magnet into two parts. Why you got m by 2, you know, here also we have cut the magnet into two parts. When you cut the magnet into n number of equal parts, that may be horizontally or vertically, and your answer will be like n here. Your answer will be like n here. Your answer will be like n. So that means how many equal parts if you cut the magnet, and that is n value will come here. So now the conclusion I'll write here. So that m dash means magnetic moment of each part, each equal part will be equal to m by n. Right? So this is about cutting the magnet. This is about cutting the magnet. And let's bend the magnet, and how to find the variation in the magnetic moments, let's find out. So let me bend the magnet, and how the magnetic moment varies, let us find. Right. Let's see. There is a magnet, a south pole here, north pole here. Magnetic moment is m bar and it is 2L. Pole strength is minus m plus m. So the magnetic moment here it is m into 2L. So what am I going to do is, I'm just bending this magnet into two parts, right? How I am bending this magnet. Listen. So this is how I'm just bending the magnet. It is 2L, right? Yes. In this way, I'm just bending the magnet in this way. So this is one and this is the another bend, two things. So this is the south pole, this is the north pole. So it is bent at an angle, right? So if you carefully observe, listen carefully, this is south pole, this is north pole. So this is nothing but x. This is x. So what is this x? So this is L, Amma. This is L. 2L is only bent like this. Right? Now, listen. If I draw a perpendicular bisector here, so this is 90 degrees and this is theta by 2, right? Theta is the total angle. Here only theta by 2 we have taken. So what is that sine theta by 2? Sine theta by 2 is equal to opposite. It is x by 2. Understand? X by 2 sine theta by 2. So this is x by 2 divided by, so this is L. What can I write here? X by 2 is equal to L into sine theta by 2. So from here x is equal to 2L sine theta by 2. Understand? X is equal to 2L sine theta by 2. This x we have got now. So what is the new magnetic moment here? The new magnetic moment here is pole strength into 2L bar. So m dash is equal to pole strength is m 2L bar. So new magnetic moment 2L bar is this x. This x is 2L sine theta by 2. So 2L sine theta by 2. So m into 2L is nothing but the initial magnetic moment. So new magnetic moment is initial magnetic moment into sine theta by 2, and depends on the value given, depends on the value of theta given, you can find it, you can find the various answer. Most probably the question will be like this: if theta is 90 degrees, students, this is a single bar magnet is bent like this, is south, it's north, and it is at an angle 90 degrees. So new magnetic moment is m into sine 90 by 2, it's sine 45. It's m into sine 45 is 1 by root 2. So now m by root 2 is the answer. initial magnetic moment, if you know this new magnetic moment, you can find out, right? Initial magnetic moment, listen, if initial magnetic moment is 5 root 2 ampere meter square, in this case the final magnetic moment is 5 root 2 divided by root 2. It's a 5 ampere meter square. So this is what this situation, like these questions will be asked. Like these questions will be asked. Alright students? Students, I hope you understand. These are not the first time you are studying, and the concepts, whatever we are learning, is useful for your CET exam also, not only for the NEET. Right? Clear? Now, let's move on. Let's move on. So this is about the cutting the magnet, how the magnetic moment varies. This is bending the magnet, how the magnetic moment varies. Now, I have two magnets. One is having M1 bar is the magnetic moment. Another one is having M2 bar is the magnetic moment when I added those two. That means when those two are kept, how the resultant magnetic moment will be. Let us check. And how they are keeping also. Let us check. Let's see that. I hope you are understanding this. Let us start. This one. So there is a magnet, south pole and north pole. Magnetic moment is M1 bar. Right? There is another magnet, same south pole, north pole. The magnetic moment is M2 bar. When they both have connected like this two. This is south and north pole. This is magnetic moment M1 bar. And here it is like this. See. This is south and north pole. Magnetic moment is M2 bar and they are at an angle theta. Simple. The resultant magnetic moment, if you want, they both are inclined. They both are vectors. They are at an angle theta. And you can easily find the resultant magnetic moment square root M1 square plus M2 square plus 2M1 M2 cos theta. If you use this formula, you will get it. If you use this formula, you will get it, my dear students. Alright? Clear everyone? Now, so this is about the concept called resultant magnetic moment. So here, one more important point I just wanted to tell you. Listen carefully. We know electric field due to a point charge. We know the electric field due to a point charge. What is that? There is a source charge Q at a distance R. At this point, electric field is K capital Q by R square. So what is the electric force here? F is equal to Q into E bar. Like F bar is equal to Q into E bar. The same way, imagine there is a magnetic pole which is a positive pole. At a distance R from this, so the magnetic field will be equal to, listen carefully, the magnetic field will be equal to mu naught by, listen, mu naught by 4 pi, and this is M divided by R square. Observe. So what is that? In the place of K, it has come mu naught by 4 pi. In the place of Q, source charge, and this is M, source pole. So this is the pole will be generating magnetic field lines. And this is what the R. So at this point, in the same way, magnetic force you can write it as M into B bar. So remember these two expressions, they are important. One is magnetic field due to an isolated pole. Magnetic field due to an isolated pole. And this is magnetic force due to an isolated pole. F bar is equal to M into Q bar. So this is positive charge. Positive pole, and this is also a test positive pole. M not only will keep. So this positive repel each other. The force is directed like this. The force is directed like this. Okay? Clear? Fine. So this is the magnetic field due to a single pole. Now let us see. So one important note, in so many years in the NEET exam this question was asked. Listen. So there is a north pole and south pole. So there is another north pole and south pole here. This is the magnetic moment, Observe carefully. So exactly the middle of this magnet, there is a distance d. This is south pole, north pole, there is an attraction takes place here. What is this attraction force between two magnets? So that is F is inversely proportional to d to the power 4. Very important question. F1 by F2 is equal to d2 by d1 all to the power 4. Very important. So in the same way it goes. Same way, when this is a magnetic moment M1, this is magnetic moment M2. So when they are reversed, means one is right side, another one is left side. So only thing takes place, there is a repulsion takes place, but the force of interaction remains same. Okay, so this is about the force between two magnets, not the magnetic poles. Force between two magnetic poles is mu naught by 4 pi into m1 m2 by r square. So that's a force between two magnetic poles. So this is force between two magnets directly. Force between two magnets. Okay. Now here this is F inversely proportional to r square. Here F is inversely proportional to r to the power 4. And whatever it may be, for your understanding, mu naught value I am writing 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Remember, mu naught value is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Alright. So let me rub this part. So then we'll move to the further. Right. So let me rub this part. So then we will move it further. Alright. I hope you are just pausing the video and writing whatever the important points we have discussed. Right? Okay. So there is a north pole here and the south pole here. In the last class itself we have discussed. Magnetic field lines originate from the north pole and comes to the south pole and passes through the magnet. So outside the magnet they are moving from south to north. Outside the magnet they are moving from north to south. Inside they are moving from south to north. They never intersect each other and the magnetic flux is more close to the poles. What is magnetic flux? What is magnetic flux? So now magnetic flux is denoted with the symbol phi suffix b. It's a magnetic flux and magnetic flux is equal to b bar dot a bar because the flux is a scalar quantity. SI unit of the flux is. So this is the magnetic flux. SI unit is Weber. SI unit is Weber. That's a magnetic flux. B bar dot A bar. So then we can write magnetic flux is equal to B into A into cos theta. According to the theta value, the magnetic flux linked with a particular region will vary. Okay. This is about the magnetic flux. And in the magnetic flux, you see there is a magnetic field. Field due to an isolated magnetic pole. Remember, very important formula. Field due to an magnetic isolated pole. So now imagine there is a pole M here and there is a M plus M. Carefully see, there is a triangle here, there is another plus M is kept. Right? So the question is, what is the net magnetic field due to all isolated charges here? So this is A and this is A and this is A, equilateral triangle 60 and this is also 60 and this is also 60. Positive, positive, repel. This is first magnetic field. And positive, positive ripple, the second magnetic field. It's a B and this is also B. B1, B2, let's suppose. What is B1? Students, what is B1? It's a mu naught by 4 pi, right? B1. At this point, due to this pole, the magnetic field, so mu naught m by a square. The same way B2 also, mu naught by 4 pi into m by a square. So they are at an angle 60 degrees. So the net magnetic field, if somebody asks, you will write square root of B1 square plus B2 square plus 2B1 B2 cos theta. Okay, this is how you find the net magnetic field concept, students. I hope you got the point. This is how you find the net magnetic field concept. All right, clear? Shall we move to the next concept? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Shall we move to the next concept? Just write it in the WhatsApp. Yes or no? Are you following? Is it easy? Yes or no? You are not studying this chapter first time, my dear students. You are not at all studying this first time. Okay? So we have finished about magnet, magnetic field, magnetic force, right? Magnetic movement, variation in the magnetic movement, those all the things we have discussed, right? So at our best way, we have discussed and we have revised. And there are so many other applications are also available. You have to try, because in the notes I have given at the maximum level, the level needed more than the NEET exam, I have given already. You need to go through them. Okay, now the point. Let's come back to the point here. So now the point is, listen students, there is a uniform magnetic field here. There is a uniform magnetic field. Observe, there is a uniform magnetic field. So this is a B bar, right? When the magnetic field lines are moving in this direction, that means there is a north pole here. I have told you, like a positive charge we have imagined here. Right now, there is a positive pole we have to imagine here. Now, there is a bar magnet which is kept here. Observe carefully. There is a bar magnet which is kept here, the bar magnet of south pole and north pole. You see, this is the magnetic moment and this is B bar. So they are at an angle theta. Understand? So this positive will apply, this is positive M and this is minus M, right? This positive will apply a force F bar here. What is F bar? It's a M B bar. And this also will apply a force F here. So that is also MB bar in this direction. So here net force is 0, but net torque is not equal to 0. You know what is this called? This is called magnetic dipole is placed in a magnetic field, right? What is the topic, student? So when a magnetic dipole placed in a magnetic field, magnetic dipole placed in a magnetic field, there is a torque experienced by it, right? What is the torque? So the torque tau bar is equal to M bar cross B bar, which is equal to MB sine theta. So this is the torque experienced by a bar magnet which is kept in a magnetic field. Look at this. This is the torque. So this magnetic movement, we can also write it as NIAB sine theta. Depends on theta value. Depends on theta value. The torque will be varies. In the same way, there is a potential energy associated with this dipole. So the potential energy associated with the dipole, which is minus P bar dot B bar. So that's a minus P. So P, the same, sorry, it's electric, P, M bar dot B bar. So it's a minus MB cos theta. This is important, Amma. This is important. So this is what potential energy of a bar magnet which is kept in a uniform electric field. So this one, if theta is 0, for example, so the potential energy is cos 0 is 1, right? It's a minus mb, you will get it. So for example, if theta is 180 degrees, so u is equal to cos 180 is minus 1, you get plus mb. Why 90 we are not taking here? Because when sine 90, theta is 90 and torque will be maximum. When theta is 90, torque is maximum, which is m into b. Okay, so we are focusing only on these two here, and this is the condition is called a stable equilibrium position. Stable equilibrium, so this is unstable equilibrium position. Stable equilibrium and unstable equilibrium. Now, stable equilibrium means immediately you should understand what is angle between m and b, 0. Unstable equilibrium, you should understand what is angle between m and b. It's 180 degrees. Remember, my dear students, remember. So this is about torque and the potential energy. So now, again, I'm just giving you one important formula here. Work done by external force is equal to change in potential energy. Work done by external force is equal to final potential energy minus initial potential energy. How many times we have discussed this? How many times we have discussed this? Very, 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 very important formula. Always work done by the conservative force is minus of delta U, but here work done by the external force is equal to just delta U. That delta U is equal to final potential energy minus initial potential energy. Individual at any instant potential energy you can find like this, minus mb cos theta. Alright, now the question they may ask like this, my dear students, listen. So from here to here, how much work is needed to bring a magnet, to move a magnet from here to here? How to solve that question, student? How to solve that question, student? The example, right? So work done is equal to final. So it's a minus mb cos. Finally, what is the angle? Unstable, 180 degrees. And minus of minus plus, it's mb into cos. What is the angle? 0 degrees. I hope you are getting the point. So work done is equal to cos 180 is minus 1. Minus of minus plus, it's mb plus cos 0 is 1. It's mb. What is the answer? 2mb. Okay. If a magnetic moment is given as 5 ampere meter square and the B value is given as 20 Tesla, you can directly write, so work done by the external force in rotating a magnet from stable equilibrium to unstable equilibrium. What is the answer? So what is the answer? It is 2mb. What is the answer? It is 2mb. That's it. Like this questions will be asked. Alright. Students, alright, I hope you understand the situation. I hope you understand the situation, right? So just pause the video. Whatever the important points you find out, you just go through it. You just go through it. Just pause the video, okay? I'm just rubbing this. Just pause the video and whatever the important points are there, you can write down. Just pause the video, okay? And we will be moving into the concept called magnetic dipole, okay? And before that, electric dipole. So just revise. Electric dipole, already you know. There is a negative charge and a positive charge from the center of the system at a distance small r. On the axial line there is a point. What is the electric field due to this dipole at this point? It's a K 2kp by r cube. I hope you remember it. Same way, in case of a magnetic dipole, how it will be, you know. So this is minus m. So this is plus m exactly from the center at a distance d here, at this point on the axial line, magnetic field will be mu naught by 4 pi into 2n by d cube. Same. K mu naught by 4 pi. 2. Electric dipole moment, magnetic dipole moment divided by d cube. Remember. This is axial line. Same way, this is minus m, this is plus m. So exactly here on the equatorial point, it's a mu naught by 4 pi m by d cube. So this is equatorial point. So this is the equatorial point. Okay. So remember these two expressions. So B axial and B equatorial for the short dipole. Mostly the questions will be on the short dipole only. And from here also you can write, so B axial divided by B equatorial is equal to 2. Remember. Right? At any point, if you go to the little higher level, at any point, listen, this is minus m and this is plus m from the center at any point P here. So there is an angle theta. So here the magnetic field, it's a mu naught by 4 pi, right? Mu naught by 4 pi into m by d cube square root 1 plus 3 cos square theta. Square root 1 plus 3 cos square theta. Okay. Clear? So this is the important formula. This is theta. Generally, at any point, if you want to find the dipole, in electric field also we have found the same. Electric field due to the dipole at any point. So this is a K P by R cube square root 1 plus 3 cos square theta. Same thing, it is repeated now. Okay? Clear everybody? Just write it. Just write it. This is a little bit higher level if you go, this is what. And this is already we discussed in electric field due to the dipole. That's why formulas I have given. Okay? So I'm just rubbing this part 1, 2, 3. And we'll be moving into the next concept called time period of oscillation of a bar magnet when it is kept in a uniform magnetic field. I'm just rubbing this. Alright, the point is that from here also you may get a question here. Time period of a bar magnet when it is kept in a uniform magnetic field, and let's move on. Let us see that. There is a bar magnet which is kept in the uniform magnetic field like this. This is B bar, and our bar magnet is like this, students. This is a bar magnet and south pole, north pole. So magnetic movement is like this, and there is an angle theta is making with the B bar. Now listen. Initially, net force is 0. Of course, the net force is 0, and net torque is not equal to 0. That means it will rotate. Imagine initially magnet is like this. So it is 0 degrees. Right? Potential energy is stable. From the stable position, if I just disrupt till here and release, and it will make oscillations like this. And that oscillations will have the time period. And that time period is equal to 2 pi square root I by mp suffix h. 2 pi square root I by mph. What is I? What is I, my dear students? I is equal to a moment of inertia ml square by 12. So when this is the rod, this can be considered as a rod, and this rod is oscillating about the about the axis of rotation is passing through center of mass of the rod, right? That is why ml square by 12. Now, write it down in the WhatsApp, my dear students. If the axis of rotation for this rod is at the end, what is the moment of inertia of this rod? Moment of inertia of this rod is how much when the axis of rotation is at the end. When the axis of rotation is at the end. Understand? What is that? What is that? ml square by how much? Write it in the WhatsApp. Write it in the WhatsApp. And before that, let's continue. What is the moment of inertia of this bar magnet? It can be considered as a uniform rod whose moment of inertia is ml square by 12. Alright. And what is m? Yes, magnetic moment of this is m. What is BH? So this BH is equal to horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Okay, clear? Listen carefully. Moment of inertia is same. Uniform magnetic field in which it is kept is also same. 2 pi is constant. So then what can I write? T is inversely proportional to root m. So from here, T1 by T2 is equal to root of M2 by M1. Like this also questions can be asked, and there are so many applications. Let's do it now. There are so many applications. Let us do it now. Don't get confused. Let's do it now. Here one magnet. When there are two magnets are kept like this, listen. When there is another magnet is kept on it, this is also having south pole, north pole, the magnetic moment is m bar. Right? And this is the case. What is the time period? So listen, this is what one magnet and this is the another magnet, south, north, south, north. So this is how the magnetic moments will be there. Imagine both are having the same magnetic moment. No confusion. It's m and this is also m. So what is that? T is equal to 2 pi square root. This I will become 2I because the moment of inertia is depending on mass of the body. Here the mass of the body is doubled here. The mass of the body is doubled. So then I becomes 2I divided by MBH. I becomes 2I and this is MBH. And what is magnetic moment? So magnetic moment is both are vectors and angle between them is 0 degrees. That I can write that is 2M into magnetic field is B. Okay. So this 2 gets cancelled. What is the magnetic moment? So the new magnetic moment, right? T dash is equal to 2 pi root I by MB. So that's a T. Okay. See here. T dash is becoming T. There's no change in the time period. There is no change in the time period. 3 applications I'm going to discuss with you right now. 3 applications. There's no change in the time period here. Okay. Now the second case, let us discuss, students. Second case. It is most important and interesting. There are 2 magnets. One is south-north and the magnetic moment is M. Another one is south-north and the magnetic moment is M. Have a look at this. Actual time period is 2 pi square root I by MB when there is single magnet. Either this one or this one. Either this one or this one. There is time period. Now, the combination will have the time period like this. 2 pi square root I means 2I because mass is doubled. Now, this is the magnetic moment. What is magnetic moment? So, this is one vector, this is one vector. The angle between them is 180 degrees. Understand? So, one vector and the other vector, angle between them is 180 degrees. So, then what can I write? So, this is 0. Resultant magnetic moment is 0. 0 into P. So, what is this? Can I say it is something by 0 is infinity? Yes. So, the new time period is infinity. So, the same concept will again repeat in oscillations chapter, and this oscillations chapter also I will be taking during your class 11th revision. Right? In your class 11th revision, starting from mechanical properties of solids, I'll be taking now. So during this oscillations concept also, you will get oscillations of the time period of a simple pendulum. In one situation you get it infinity. In one situation you get it infinity. So that will be discussed later. Okay. So don't worry about it. Now remember, what is meant by infinite time period? Can anybody write it? What's up? Can anybody write in WhatsApp what is meant by infinite time period? Can anybody write it in WhatsApp? What is meant by infinite time period? What is time period? Look at this. This is what the mean position. Simple pendulum. Extreme towards the mean position, another extreme, and to the mean position. This is called one oscillation. Some 2 seconds, imagine. 2 seconds is the time taken to finish one oscillation. 2 seconds is the time taken to finish one oscillation. Understand? How much seconds? Infinite, means undefined. So much of time is taking to finish one oscillation. Undefined, that means no oscillation is taking place. Is that? No oscillations are taking place if this is the situation. Like this combination, when you keep it here in the stable equilibrium position and disturb it from that position, it will not oscillate at the mean. Right? And the third important case is very important. Little advanced level if you go it and you'll get it. Little advanced level if you go it, and let's see that. Let's see the little advanced level concept here. The concept is this one. Initially there is a magnet, we have south pole and north pole. So the magnetic moment M and time period is 2 pi square root I by MB. It's a first. And the second case, what are we going to do is, we are going to cut this into n equal parts. When we cut this into n equal parts, I hope you remember, it's each part magnetic moment. What is that? Each part magnetic moment is m by n. Each part magnetic moment is m by n. Okay, keep it aside. Now, this is having the moment of inertia I here, right? This is magnetic moment of each part. Okay. Now, listen. This case time period we are going to write 2 pi root I. I will become I dash here. I dash. What is I dash? So I is equal to ml square by 12. Now each part, we are talking about each part. Each part time period, let's find out. So this is how much? Total mass. Now each part becomes m by n into L also becomes L by n whole square divided by 12. So what is that? ml square by 12 into n cube. Remember, that is I dash. And magnetic moment of each part. Magnetic moment of each part, that is m by n. Let's substitute this one. So T dash is equal to 2 pi square root I dash. What is I dash, students? ml square by 12 into n cube divided by m by n into b. Okay. So let us write it. T dash is equal to 2 pi square root ml square divided by 12n cube into n divided by capital MB. T dash is equal to 2 pi root ml square by 12 into n cube into n by MB. So what we need the new time period of each and every part, equal part, in terms of initial given time period. So that is why what are we going to write is, this is 2 pi root, look at this, ml square by 12 is I, This n and n can cancel. This is I by n square into 1 by mb. So this we can write 2 pi, right, root I by mb into root n square. When it root n 1 by n square it comes out, it will be 1 by n. So this complete value is equal to time period, right? Time period of the initial given bar magnet. So new time period is equal to 1 by n times of initial time period. New time period is equal to 1 by n times of initial time period. Now, so the homework for you is, listen, the same question. How can you do that? Same question. So there is a bar magnet, south pole and north pole. Time period is t initially, 2 pi root I by mb. It's a time period. So here it is cut into n equal parts vertically. Now if it is cut into n equal parts horizontally, n equal parts, if you cut like this, what is the t dash? T dash means what? Time period of each part is how much? That's the question. Time period of each part is how much? Do it now and tell me. Time period of the each part is how much? Do it now and tell me. Okay? Okay, my dear students, and let's solve a few numericals related to whatever is the discussion happened so far related to that. And one more, my sincere advice for you is that already we have included so many numericals in this session. Numerical andre value alla. This can also be given as a numerical. This is an application. This can also be given as a numerical. This can also be given as a numerical. So they may give you m2 by m1 ratio. Root 4 is to 1 and that is 2 is the answer, like that. Right? Clear? So directly they may ask you to find the time period, because from your class 12th portions there are formula based questions will frequently come. Directly I value they can give, or m value, bh value they can give. They'll ask you to find time period, and that is also possible. And from the starting of this chapter, whatever we have discussed, they are included numericals also. I hope you remember one numerical we have solved. Initially the magnet is kept at the stable equilibrium. How much work is done to rotate it to the unstable equilibrium? 0 degrees, this is the magnetic moment direction. 0 degrees to 180 degrees. Okay? Clear? That was also numerical. But still, let's solve few more numericals related to the discussion, whatever has happened so far. Welcome back, my dear students. Maximum number of numericals we have solved in the form of applications itself. But still, let's see some more numericals related to our previous discussion. And look at here. There is a identical poles 1, 2, 3. Alright? So net magnetic field at this point is how much? That's a question. This is an equilateral triangle. Side length is A. This pole will apply a magnetic field like this. This pole will apply a magnetic field like this. This is B and this is B. The angle between them is 60 degrees. We know how to find the resultant one. So resultant B is equal to square root B square plus B square plus 2B square cos 60 degree. Right? Cos 60 is 1 by 2. This 1 by 2 and this cancel. So what is the resultant value? It is root 3b square. So this we can write root 3 into b. What is this b? Magnetic field due to a pole. Understand? Isolated pole, a single pole, like magnetic electric field due to a single charge, a point charge, the same thing. So the resultant magnetic field here, which is equal to root 3 into B value, mu naught by 4 pi into m divided by a square, right? Remember this one. Okay. Now this one. Initially there is a magnet which is placed along the magnetic field. Means magnetic moment and the B bar direction same. So theta value 0 initially. Here theta value 60. And they have clearly given that from here to here to move, work done is required is W. What is this work done? So work done is equal to change in potential energy, that is final potential energy minus initial potential energy. I hope you remember this. Now, once again, UF, it's a minus MB cos final angle 60 degrees. Minus of minus plus MB into initial angle 0 degrees. Now W is equal to, what is this? Minus MB cos 60 is 1 by 2 plus MB. So the answer is MB by 2. That is not the answer, Amma. So I can write from here MB is equal to 2W. MB is equal to 2W. MB is equal to 2W. This is the question asked in the NEET 2016, I think. I don't remember exactly the year, but this is the previously asked question. Now, question is, what is the torque at this moment? At this moment, torque is how much? Torque is equal to MB into cos 60 degrees. So, no, it's sine, sorry. MB into sine 60 degrees. So, what is MB? MB is 2W, right? So 2W, which is into, see, MB is 2W into sine 60. It's a root 3 by 2. What is the answer? It's a root 3W. That is the answer. What is the answer? Root 3 into W. That's the answer. Now, coming back to this. What is this? A neutral point. Neutral point is also called what? Null point. Neutral point is also called what? Null point. In case of charges, null point we have found. Q1, Q2, they are separated by distance R. The null point X is equal to, that means from the first charge, R by root Q2 by Q1 plus 1. The same way, there is a magnetic dipole, that means pole strength 0.4 units. This is pole strength 6.4 units, like charges Q1, Q2, and they are separated by a distance 10 centimeters. Neutral point, somewhere here the neutral point will be there. So what is that neutral point? X is equal to, same amount. So here also R divided by second pole strength by first pole strength plus 1 madidre, you will get it. So X is equal to R. What is R? 10 centimeters divided by root. So this is 6.4 by 0.4 plus 1. Yes, of course you will get it. Look at it. 10 centimeters divided by, this is root 16. Root 16 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So 5 into 2. So X is equal to 2 centimeters. A beautiful question. Very important. All these 4 models are very important, out of which only these 2 we have already discussed during the applications. These are new. They are not new because from the starting of this chapter I am keep on comparing the dipole pole strengths with electric charges. I am keep on comparing this small m and the q values. Pole strength and the charges. That's the only difference between electric field and magnetic field. Rest all the equations are similar, including electric field due to a dipole, magnetic field due to a dipole. Same equations except these pole strength and these are the charges. Here magnetic dipole moment m bar and in case of this electric dipole moment, a p bar. Okay, coming back to this question. So initially they have a magnet like this, south pole and north pole, whose magnetic moment is m bar. Now this magnet is bent like this, a small arc shape, and this arc is making an angle theta with the center, because if you extend this, this will form a circle, right? Find the new magnetic moment. And new magnetic moment formula in this case, when the magnet is bent into the form of an arc, it's a 2m sine theta by 2 divided by theta. What is that? M dash is equal to 2m sine theta by 2. Let's say this is 6. This is the answer number, but imagine theta is 60 degrees. So 2m sine 60 by 2 sine 30, it's 1 by 2 divided by theta. What is theta? 60 degrees. Is it pi by 3? Yes. So this 2 gets cancelled, and m dash is equal to 3m by pi. Remember, depends on the theta value, this will be varies. Depends on the theta value, this will vary. Okay, clear? So this is how the questions will be asked. Now listen carefully. As the time is finished, we are unable to finish the complete chapter, and next class will be continued, and what is left in this chapter is earth magnetism. There you get the magnetic elements like angle of declination, angle of inclination, and horizontal magnetic field of the earth. Then magnetic substances, diamagnetic substances, paramagnetic substances, and ferromagnetic substances. Then hysteresis curve and the numericals, right? So I think next class, half an hour, we will be discussing this chapter continuation. Then we'll start a new chapter called electromagnetic induction, my dear students. Okay, fine. I hope you're understanding, and thank you so much for listening, and shining off. All the very best.